Well, we're 2 minutes in and we're set to get in. Too many ins in that statement. But it's my choice, man. Anyways, good to have you join us again for another episode of Power Solutions. I look forward to this because it's when we discuss how we can fix Nigeria's longest standing problem. Give it up for power problems. Because actually they have tried. They've been there for a long time, And we have those who are doing all they can to fix these problems of power and using alternative ways and being creative and innovative about it. And these are the people we get to talk to every Monday at happens the hour of 11. So it's 11:33 now. So we're very much right a bit behind schedule, but we're in time, right?
All right. Well, good morning, Collins. Hope you had a good Valentine's weekend.
Yes, I thought I did until I got to find out that I might need to do a bit more. But yes, it was a weekend of mixed feelings, really. The happenings around / it was still show love now. And so people were balling, even though everything happening in Lagos, the news all around. I saw CNN reporting, people arrested at Lekki Toll.
Yeah.
The hotels were packed. People were still balling. There are people funny enough, people live their life still.
Yeah.
So it's always a mixed reaction. So my weekend was just one of those weekends that, are you happy? Are you sad? But, we just strike a balance.
But you have a particular issue in that whatever happens for you on Valentine's Day might be talked about on air to 200,000 Nigerians.
I'm telling you.
So you have to really perform. Right?
So I have to start behaving. So I think before long, I'll get the best version of me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that version of me will be so. Maybe I'll probably not have anything to say.
Yeah.
I'll just come in and show up and.
Yeah. So,
anyways.
But before we jump into the show, both of us have milestones this week.
Yes.
Both of us have our oldest sons. Are having milestone birthdays this week. So yours is on the 17th.
Yes, right. That's right.
He's 1.
It will be 1 on the 17th.
On the 17th, and my son is going to be 18 on the 18th. So it's a special birthday.
So we have to start. Where's the shakers? Somebody. I'm telling you.
So I know I look way too young to have an 18-year-old son.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I know. I mean, no, you don't. Yeah, I actually do. You way too young to have an 18. Really? Did I really fall?
You fell for that. Okay. Anyway, so my son, obviously your son is at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
At 1, he's still at home. So mine is in boarding school.
Oh.
So in the U.S. and because of all the lockdowns, he's gonna have to spend his whole 18th birthday by himself, no family.
Oh.
My wife was gonna fly up and surprise him. But it's not even allowed. Not even to look outside his window and wave at him.
Oh, boy.
So all of Lagos, please, on the 18th, give a shout out to Jahan Boer. He's on Instagram, Jahan Boer, and wish him happy birthday.
No, we're going to spell that Jahan Boer. We have to do it.
Jehan.
Okay. Jehan.
And then Boer, as in my name. B as in boy, O-E-R.
Absolutely. So, guys, go follow.
So he's raised in Lagos, so give him Lagos love on the 18th, man, for his 18th birthday.
Absolutely.
All right.
Happy birthday. And 18th is a double milestone because you're entering adulthood,
Yep.
at least according to Nigerian standard. Yep. And more so, happy birthday to you. I definitely will celebrate you on that day, especially on radio. And, of course, celebrating you right now. What a way to start the show.
All right, but now we're taking up Andrew's time, so let's jump into the topic. So we have our guest today is Andrew Ndaeji. He's the managing director of Vesselnet. He's joining us from London, England, not to be confused with London Lekki. So at least we know for him his power won't go out, his bandwidth is good. So Andrew, good morning and thanks for coming on with us.
Good morning, Doug. Good morning, Lagos.
Yeah. And sorry to keep you waiting so long. Collins and I always have too much catching up to do. So
That's fine.
But listen, let's jump right in. So you spent, I think, over 15 years in the telecoms industry, and now you're pivoting into renewable energy, which obviously is very exciting for us in the industry. But would just love to hear kind of your personal journey, and then what made you kind of make that transition into renewables from telecoms.
Yeah, okay. Good morning again. I started by training. I'm an electrical and computer engineer. I started my career at a subsidiary of NMPC.
Okay.
Some few years back. Then as a computer network engineer, I spent 2 years there. It was quite exciting then, early 2000s, quite exciting to be in that industry, the infotech industry was just also starting to boom at that point. And then the opportunity of GSM came, and I had to make a shift or a switch, and I joined MTN. I joined MTN in 2003, just when they were barely 2 years old. And I had quite experience. I spent 12 years at MTN, having different experiences and building competencies across, different skill sets and areas. I mean, from network monitoring to network deployment and implementation, project management. Eventually, I was made the national BTS, Base Station Implementation Manager, in charge of the base station rollout across Nigeria, where we did quite a lot of work. I spearheaded the massive rollouts that MTN did at that point, several thousands of BTS sites. Quite interesting, as it were. And then I have to leave MTN at some point because I needed to validate my experience with some classroom knowledge. So I took an MBA just to revalidate what I knew over these 12 years, and probably a little bit of a change of environment to ensure that, I was truly competent in what I claim I knew. So I joined Ericsson briefly as well. But then you asked why renewable energy, right? In MTN, I saw firsthand power challenge, or power as a problem, the power problem in Nigeria. While we were rolling out MTN sites, on each of the sites we were building, we were installing 2 generators at that time, with a battery bank backup. So power was, though not MTN's business, we adapt to deploy power for MTN to be able to roll out their services. So I saw firsthand, the infrastructure deficit in Nigeria, moving across the country from Lagos to Maiduguri to Port Harcourt and all of that. So instant I knew that something needed to be done. And then with the experience in MTN, I also discovered that what contributed before GSM, I mean, telephone was like an exclusive preserve of some class or segment of the society, but the decentralization eventually brought this, to everybody. So I thought, why not? Why shouldn't it be in power? Now that is the biggest challenge that we have, and then my consideration, or the problem I set out to want to help to solve, were 2. Imagine 2 generators on 17 or 14,000 sites running every day, polluting the environment. Apart from the cost, implication, there was a huge, there is a huge impact on the environment. So I ventured to say, look, why can't we, help in decentralizing this power, as it were? And while doing so, why don't we help the environment by generating this power through, clean sources, rather than, this existing fossil fuels that are harming our environment, and, poisoning people, as it were, contributing to health issues and all of that. So that's why I ventured into the renewable energy sector. First of all, I've always been passionate about, wanting to solve the everyday problems that we have. Saw the problem firsthand doing my work at MTN, wanting to solve the problem but then I found out that there were 2 problems. The power access was a problem. The source of generating by individuals was another problem. So I decided, why don't we fix the problem with one, we generate this power through renewable sources, through clean sources, rather than using the fossil fuel generators.
Well, Lagos, Nigeria. If you're just joining us, it's 11:42, so you can get the time right. We're on Power Solutions, and you just heard the voice of our guest, Andrew Ndaeji. He is Managing Director of Vesselnet, and we'll get into that in just a moment. Our focus is Nigeria electricity access challenges and opportunities. So where there are challenges, always opportunities, like you know already. So I'll go straight to my next question. I also like to know about Vesselnet, but before I get into that, now according to a survey by the Center for Global Development in 2019, power, and for every average Nigerian, when I say power, is not the strength we have, the punches. For the purpose of better understanding, we're talking about electricity, what you call electricity, because absolutely that particular power has been the shortages of this are, of course, particularly a problem for Nigeria's booming tech industry, and which is the biggest on the continent. And and accounts for nearly 14% of the country's GDP. Now, we are now in 2021, yet, like we all know, this problem is still a big one for Nigeria. What might the tech sector be like if power wasn't an issue? I mean, let's just say power was fixed. What would that do to the tech sector?
That's a tough question. So let's see what Andy has to say.
I mean, I just gave an example of MTN, right? They have no business generating power. Their business is selling airtime, right? Providing telephonic services. But then they adapt to invest in power. Same with the tech sector. Startup companies necessarily do not have to worry about. One of the key things they need to have is power. But then they now, instead of concentrating their power, their energy in doing their work, which is their primary assignment, they are that worried with power. Sometimes, these people, they work on the go. Sometimes somebody has an idea, he wants to drop it, his laptop is not power. I just imagine without the issue of power, we should not be talking 14% contribution to GDP. Maybe 30%, maybe 40%. So power is actually a big challenge for startups, especially in the tech ecosystem. We happen to be. As small as our business is, we used to, because now we've gone renewable, we're saving some cost now. We've gone solar, but then we used to spend close to 300,000 naira every month just to buy diesel. And that's not problem alone. You have to service the generator, the breakdown when you don't, and the noise, and for smaller businesses, their generators cannot even power their air conditioning. The people that work in this tech environment normally will require some peace, some quiet, and they work long hours. But because of power, their productivity is highly limited. So instead of somebody staying there working 18 hours, it's limited to work 8 hours, because he has power only. He can only produce or support himself with power for only maybe 8-10 hours in a day. After that, whether he wants to work or not, he has to go home, because he does not have the capacity to generate this power 24/7 to support his required productivity. So I think there's a whole lot we are losing, a whole lot of productivity we are losing to lack of reliable power, especially in the tech industry. And I just gave the example of MTN. There's quite a lot of other operators out there that are limited because they have to invest heavily into power that ideally should be somebody else's responsibility. All they do is concentrate on what they do best. But now they have to worry. Sometimes you have telecom size go down, bringing down thousands of subscribers. Imagine the ripple effect. Just because the power is not reliable, the generator goes down, a site goes down, another 50 sites connecting to this site go down, and then it has ripple effect on productivity. Same with people in the tech industry. And generally, of course, the telecoms is part of the tech ecosystem, even though it's not part of the startup system as it were.
So Andrew, I think that was
Brilliantly.
because basically we're talking about billions of dollars of lost productivity, tens of billions of dollars of lost productivity,
Tens of billions of dollars that would have improve our contribution, or the tech sector's contribution to the GDP.
Yeah.
But this is being lost to unreliability of power, non-availability in some cases, and in the middle of it, a lot of people give up.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting too is the point about all these companies, whether a startup or large, mid-size, whatever, a lot of management time is spent on power. And so whether you're a tech entrepreneur, you're a brewing company, whatever you are, you're also a power company in Nigeria, and it's such a drain on resources. But let's go to the next question. So, we talked about renewable energy as being a key solution to this problem. Are we doing enough in Nigeria yet on renewable energy to roll it out across the country?
From my personal experience, I think not enough yet. Is something being done? Yes, I think so. Especially with very enthusiastic entrepreneurs out there trying to solve this problem. But there is a whole lot that needs to be done from the government side in terms of policies, in terms of creating the enabling environment for the entrepreneurs to flourish, or for the sector to flourish. I'll give you an example from my personal experience. Everybody, because of the passion and because of the obviousness of the problem, wants to be part of this. Want to be part of the solution. But then on its own, that is not enough, right? Just wanting to be part of the solution does not, in some way, contribute some other problems. Like the sector has become a bit, to me, fragmented. You don't have just many players because there is no, I won't call it regulation, but if there are some guidelines on who is a player, and then the players are given the right support, and then there is critical mass for the players, then they will be able to quickly address the main problem. Because providing solutions for a few individuals is far in between. The problem is far bigger than we are trying to address now. So I think there needs to be a bit more from the government side in terms of guidelines, in terms of creating the enabling environment, bringing all the stakeholders in the value chain or the ecosystem for synergy, right? The banking sector, making the projects bankable, supporting the small businesses, to develop, just like Olon is doing. But I think there's a whole lot more that needs to be done for the renewable energy. The resources are there already. It's already free. Nature has blessed us. If it is solar, we have enough. If it is wind, just enough. Okay, but the harnessing of these resources is what we need to focus on, and how.
Well said. Now let's come back to Vesselnet.
Yeah.
We hear that you aim to install affordable, sustainable, reliable, and all the rules, solar energy in 1 million homes. So I hope I didn't make a mistake. 1 million homes in Nigeria by 2025. Now, this is very ambitious. And how do you plan to achieve this? Because we'll just make you the government, man.
Yeah, but that's why we're here.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
But we need that ambition.
We need that ambition, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, part of the problem that we have in the power sector is big government being in business. And government is not a good business, is a good business manager, right? So before 2002, not many people would believe that there will be more than or close to 200 million lines, phone lines in Nigeria. It was practically maybe impossible, right? Yeah, but today, almost an average Nigerian owns a phone. Government didn't invest their money in this. private individuals did, but government gave an enabling environment. Now, how do we want to do 1 million household in 5 years? Some people that know me in my former life will say, yeah, because this is how, but it's simple. Up to this point, there are still more than 45% of the population without access. Not to talk of reliable access now. More than 45% of the country does not have access to electricity. At all. And I think more than 60% of them in the rural areas, right? So what do we plan to do? Identify these rural communities where our business would be viable. Put a site there. We've done a pilot. We've done some feasibility studies. There are lots. So 1 million is not. It's just scratching the surface. If you look at the population of Nigeria and the population of the unserved, the unserved population. An average community where we want to operate, we have 1,000 households, right? We put aside there, we connect 1,000 people. Our plan for this year is to build 20 sites. 20 sites targeting 20,000 people. And year on year, we plan to exponentially scale, right? And in 5 years, it is our target, and this, to reach 5 million.
1 million. 5 million.
And 1 million households.
Okay.
And this we hope to achieve by one town, one village at a time. Right?
So Andrew, what I like about it is that you did this in telecoms.
That's
so
right.
There's no reason you can't do it in, but I guess what you need is capital, right? And so
exactly.
So Vesselnet is one of the winners of the 2020 USADF All On Challenge. So that $100,000, I guess, will go towards kicking this off. So just tell us a bit about that, and then any advice you have for those who are now in the process of applying for the 2021 window, just so that they get advice from the experts on what to do and how quickly to do it.
All right, quick. The $100,000 again. I want to thank Olon for granting us that opportunity. Is being used for our pilot site. We have a pilot site in a village called Ajana in Ondo State, right? At the moment, we've gone very far with the construction of the site. The civil works is ongoing. The equipment procurement have been done. We intend to go live first week in April. Once we go live, all we need to do is to replicate this model because we intended to use this as a pilot. Take all that is required to produce a site or to roll out a site, and then we replicate as we go. Our first phase of the project is 20 sites, which will happen this year. We already done survey on all the sites. We've already done feasibility studies. We signed agreements with the communities. We've done all the basic economic analysis. The analysis that we need to do. So all we are waiting for is to have the pilot in place. We're already talking to a few investors on this. Once we finish this, we apply for permit, and then we will ensure that from Q2, we will start rolling out this 20, and by the end of the year, maybe I will be here again to give you the good news that we have reached 20,000 people, our household as
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
A big amen to that. I wish we could continue with this going and on because I'm enjoying this and I'm seeing the hope that it's instilling and the fact that you're taking action. We'll definitely have you again some other time on the show to give us follow up on what we have said now. Pretty much like, hey, how far have you gone when that time comes? So thank you again to Andrew Ndaeji. Hope the name, what is that the right pronunciation of your name?
Ndaeji. Yeah.
Ndaeji. All right. Thank you, Andrew Ndaeji. Thank you. My apologies for mispronouncing it. And Managing Director, Vesselnet. Thank you for speaking with us on Power Solutions today. And to Wiebe.
Yes, my pleasure.
Yes, and
thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
What I love is how he's taking telecoms and now bringing it into power. And that's the scale we need. That's the ambition we need.
Absolutely.
So if you know, like you said, in 5 years, 1 million households, 5 million people, that's what we need. We need entrepreneurs to do that and make a difference and change the story.
I totally agree. Wiebe, before now, I was thinking, okay, pa. But I think I'll just do what he's doing. You know, take media, bring it into pa.
Exactly.
More.
Yeah, but you know, his own media was actual telecoms, not just talking on air.
No, I'm not even talking about talking on air. we have to look for, because we have to be. Why am I not an all-on staff safe? Anyways, guys, it's 2 minutes time, so we have to leave now.
All right.
We have to run.
All right. So thanks again, Collins. This has been a great show. Thank you, Andy, for joining us from London.
Yeah.
And listeners, I hope you learned something today, but help is on the way, and power is on the way to being solved.
Absolutely. I believe so too. Bye for now. The news coming up right after this break. Stay right here. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. And before I quickly go, someone sent in a message here. Oh boy, I was hoping I wouldn't do this, but I have to do it. Says my mom's birthday. The person is begging. Say please, her name is Mrs. F.A. Oluyedi. I hope I got the name correctly. Oh, happy birthday, Mrs. F.A. Oluyedi. Hope I'm correct with that. But thank you so much for sending the message. Your son is sending this message saying it's your birthday. I hope you listen, and I hope I didn't murder the name. God bless you, and to everyone who was born today too. Bye for now.
Africa's #1 station for talk.
Law-abiding citizens would like
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.